kind of wish I had a longer cable. Ah! Oh. Ah! My phone is dying, so I'm trying to charge it. Hey, Bobo, do you know if I have a longer cable? Sucks.
No.
Crap.
I turned my lights on. Yay!
Yay! I'm trying to plug my phone in, so hopefully I don't. Oh, there we go.
Let's see if everyone comes back.
Yeah, they should. I had to change where my phone is so I can charge it. I'm trying to see if I've got. This sucks. So I'm going to be like over here. Let's turn this a little bit. No, I don't think I can.
And we're back.
Actually,
if we're going to talk about, where's that email I got about skincare more? Nowadays I get a lot of email, not a lot, I get a fair amount of emails asking me if I want to, like, be get like samples and stuff from companies and then put them on my Instagram, which is so funny. So I'm trying to find the.
Be honest.
Yeah, I should just get them. I should just get them to send them to me and be like, yeah, so I got this, and it's just stupid. But I got a really funny one a little while ago asking me, oh, I also got a message in Spanish. Do you speak Spanish?
Yes,
I might need to.
but I can't really read it. So I was the girl who first language was Spanish, but at 5 years old we weren't allowed to because of the racism in the United States. So
okay, that's.
I can speak it, but it's really bad. I can't really read it.
I had a patient email me in Spanish with photographs of herself, and I'm like, well, how am I supposed to read this? And I just realized that I haven't ever responded, but I was gonna wait to show it to someone who spoke Spanish, but anyway.
You know what? Email it to me. I'll have Luis read it because he definitely can read Spanish.
Oh, okay, then I'll have to email up. Hope the patient doesn't mind because I'm actually not really allowed to do that. But anyway.
Okay. Oh, okay, right.
It's like,
good point.
So I guess, I mean, how does she expect me to read it? I don't know. I need to think about that. Like, where does the medical legal thing? But yeah, so I got an email asking me if I wanted to represent a company. Okay, this was interesting. Represent a company to put their best-selling products. The products are called, you ready? These are the products. The Facelift Facial Cupping Set plus Organic Oil, or the Ultimate Tone-Up Kit plus Oil. Then, not only that, if I start to promote it on my Instagram, they'll give me a 15% commission for everyone I sell through my affiliate link.
And can you believe this is how it works?
Yeah, we just need some nice feed poster video that we will feature on our social media pages for advertising. Like, who am I? Like, why are they sending you to, what? Like,
I'll put it really simply, because if a doctor approves,
yeah,
it's definitely worth it, because that's what they would do. So here you're getting paid 15%, which is bullshit. Okay, it's absolutely nothing, while they're raking in the rest, and who knows how much more. And then you're basically making them millions, even billions off of that, because you're a doctor. You're a doctor.
But I mean, I don't even know if they know I'm a doctor. This looks like one of these random, but like this 15%.
It's not random.
It's not random. Oh, I thought it was pretty random. But like, the thing is, these affiliate links really piss me off, by the way. So do you guys all know I mean, I didn't learn about affiliate links till like not so long ago, which is a little bit stupid. But anyway, you all know what affiliate links are. This is not my world, okay? So I don't, sell products.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, so it's not my thing. But so an affiliate link is, I'm sure everyone else knows this, is that if you see they'll say, click on my link, and then if you buy the product through that link, that person gets, 15% of what you pay. So that's a really sneaky way, in my eyes, to be selling something, because
it leaves the person biased, unless it's someone like me who goes, you want to pay me to go on and tell the truth about your product? Okay. Which I'm not going to make shit on it, because I'm going to be honest.
The thing is, why would anyone in their right, and I'm sure I've done it without even realizing it, but if you know that that person is promoting something, and if you buy it through their link, they get a commission, why would you believe them that it's any good? Am I the only person who thinks that's weird?
Well, a lot of them, and I'm not going to name the people that I've actually watched recently, which really kind of surprised me. A lot of them will tell you, I'm not making anything off of this. This is just for you.
That's just BS, though. It's generally going to be BS.
And they're supposed to be transparent. I'll say this plain and simple. There's nothing really transparent about marketing. Nothing.
Okay,
and I love the way one of my exes described it, who's Iranian. He He's like, oh, America, the capital of marketing.
Yeah.
That's what we're.
Yes.
The capital of marketing.
The capital.
We're bullshitters.
It is the capital of marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, don't buy anything via an affiliate link. Like,
don't buy anything that costs too much money. Don't buy anything over $20. Come on.
The affiliate link is such a load of like, get a real job. Like that just, come on. So,
I mean, it's an easy way to make money. I'm not going to lie. Like I do it for companies that I appreciate. Like for example, a hosting company that I love. Are they expensive? Yeah. Okay, fine. But they protect you all the way around and they don't bog anything down. So yeah, I will go ahead and put their affiliate link on my page because I agree with them.
Yeah.
But if you're talking, Elemis goes, oh, we really like what we've been seeing on your, no, because your stuff does not moisturize my skin at $90 a bottle.
Well, yes, I'd hope that the people who do have the affiliate links on their, website, that they actually believe in whatever they're trying to flog or whatever. But I don't know.
But some don't. Some just want the money.
Yeah, I find it very dodgy, especially if someone affiliate links everything. Like, as in, like if it's just one, like if it's a one brand, like if it's like that's one thing, okay, fine. But if it's like 20 different brands, like what is that? Like how? Anyway, when it comes to skincare.
Well, no, and again, in that sense, I totally get where you're coming from, but I also get where they might be coming from. For example, and now this is starting to waver. I've been a huge Samsung fan, but I'm really pissed off at the fact that Samsung keeps on sending out new products twice a year. Why? Our phones last 10 years. Why? Well, okay, maybe not that long. 4 to 6 years, 8 years. Why do you have to keep on pumping something out that costs $1,000 every time to buy?
A phone?
Yeah. $1,000 a phone.
Oh my God. Well, okay, yeah, no. So I have an issue with these marketing tactics, or affiliate links or whatever. It's just so dodgy.
So yeah, no, I do too, and I get it. And it's like I'm one of those people where I will do it until you piss me off, and then you know what? Screw you. If you want to screw with people, we're done.
Yes, totally. So we have a question. Natalia, what do you use as a daily moisturizer?
Yes.
Oh, I love these kind of questions. I generally use like an ointment. People are gonna hate that. So I don't use tons of moisturizer because I don't really, I don't live in a super dry climate, but I would use an ointment. So I like things like QV ointment, and we talked about Aquaphor is the one that you can get in the US. Like anything really basic. Basically, I have relatively normal skin, though recently I've had some issues with my acne rosacea flaring up. But so when my acne rosacea flares up, oh, there it is, yeah, that one. I stopped using everything because I'm not entirely sure what's triggered it. So
what's causing
it? So I generally, I generally just stop using everything, and then I deal with my acne rosacea through taking an oral treatment normally. So like I'll take doxycycline or something, but that doesn't happen very often.
And since we're on this, can I ask you and you probably can't answer this right now, so we can hold off on another, for another, but what ingredient-wise, I don't care about brand, ingredient-wise, which is better, Aquaphor type or Vaseline itself? Because Vaseline is just petroleum, but Aquaphor has like all this other stuff in it.
Yeah, so it doesn't, they're equally, Vaseline's going to be your number one occlusive. So if you're looking purely for the absolute best occlusive agent to keep water in the skin, then you're going to go for Vaseline. However, Vaseline is not very nice to use for a lot of people because it can make you feel like you're suffocating. So Aquaphor is less greasy. And so that's where it's more of a mix of paraffins. So it's like not just Vaseline, not just pure paraffin. So it just depends on what you kind of like the feel of. I will always kind of move towards I don't know what that is. Bag.
You've never tried this bag balm?
Bag balm.
This is like an East Coast thing. It was initially created for the the udders of cows, and then women used to use it for breastfeeding on their nipples. Nice. But on the East Coast, because I didn't know about anything else, and I hated Vaseline because it can
be very, people don't like the smell of it.
Yeah. And that too. And so I started using this, and I basically just use it for my lips. I don't use it for anything else, or when my skin would get like really rough patches from the East Coast and all that fun stuff. Yeah. So I want to just mention these, especially for people in the States, because we don't really have the great stuff you have. We have shit.
I've never gone to CVS to look at what ointments are available there, so I don't even know. Yeah, if you have that, that's fine. So you just, on the ingredients, you want to look for so with an ointment, it's going to not have any water in it. And then, so water won't be the first ingredient. And then it'll be like paraffin, basically, and that's basically it. So
This says
what's this?
8-hydroxyquinoline sulfate, 3%, 0.3%
Kind of
in a petroleum lanolin base. So I've never put this on my face. I don't know what it would do.
You could try. I mean, it's just going to be an occlusive. It'll just feel a bit greasy.
Okay. So all of these things, Vaseline, Aquaphor, Bag Balm, coconut oil, are they all non-comedogenic?
Yeah, so that's a big question. Okay, so the idea of comedogenicity, which means clogging pores, and basically that means causing acne, because comedones are your pre-acne, so if you clog pores. So the idea that something can clog pores, it comes from 1972, okay, when there's a Kligman, who's my favorite dermatologist of all time. He discovered the idea that some makeup can, when used on a daily basis by women, causes comedones. So acne related to makeup use is generally considered to be comedonal acne. So it's not inflammatory, which basically means you get these little bumps, like these, what people call whiteheads and blackheads, which are little bumps on the skin. And they tend to be under the skin. You don't really see them. And they can occasionally become acne lesions, like spots. But they started these little thing called comedones, and we know that by like taking them out of the skin and looking under the microscope, they are literally keratin that's stuck in the hair follicle and it's not clearing. That's what a comedone is. It's literally like stuck together keratin. So the idea was, so Kligman was like, oh, listen, all these women who use all this makeup, they are getting comedonal acne. So he created the term acne cosmetica, which refers to makeup that cause, or comedonal, comedogenic. So then after that started, companies started looking at, okay, so what ingredients in the makeup is causing this problem? And then everyone started inventing methods of testing it, okay, in a lab, because you can't, they didn't want to test on humans. So the one that's most famous is called the rat ear model. So they took skin from a rat ear.
Oh!
Because rat ear skin forms comedones easily. So they were like, okay, let's
really.
You have to make these experimental models. So there's all these experimental models, and they started testing all these different ingredients, and they're like, oh god, this causes comedones, this causes comedones. But when you do it in a lab on a rat ear, you're like putting your product on there, you're putting it under occlusion, and you're leaving it on the rat ear for like 5 days. Like, that is not how we use products.
That's not how we use it. Exactly. Your skin needs to breathe. Yeah.
So, but anyway, based on that concept, they were like, oh my god, look, all these ingredients cause comedones. Crapola. So then the skincare company's like, oh god, we need to not use these ingredients, and then we can put a label on our stuff that says not comedogenic. Woo! So the term non-comedogenic is one of your terms. It's a marketing term. It has no meaning.
Seriously?
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Oh! There's no standard definition for what is a comedogenic product. So then this has been going on since 1972. So then,
oh my god,
yeah, it's a mess, right? The whole concept of comedogenic is a total mess. Then, so there's been so much stuff done about this. There's a couple ingredients or products that are known comedones, and they're like coal tar and like acetylated lanolin, like these weird, like crude petroleum oil is considered a comedogenic agent. But actually, when you look at comedogenicity of finished products, they very rarely are at all. And then makeup isn't either. So to be honest, I don't think anything is, unless you're looking at these pure chemicals, like these funny, weird, crude tar. It's crude, not coal, it's crude tar. So
crude tar.
These really crazy, you'd never buy a skincare product with this, I mean, it just doesn't, you can't buy it commercially. So these comedogenic products. So basically the idea that certain skincare products are comedogenic is not going to hold any truth to it. There is perhaps the idea that if you wear makeup all the time, and if you're acne prone, you may develop comedones from certain types of makeup. But again, that's not been proven. So
okay,
so the whole concept
then
isn't really real in a way.
Because I know that a lot of people are going to basically think the way that I'm thinking right now.
Yeah.
I ended up putting this on top of my Tret.
Yeah.
About a week ago.
Yeah.
And I put very little. I woke up the next day, acne. And I went, oh my God, but it was only on the side, which is really weird.
Weird.
So I automatically blamed it on the Aquaphor, but it could have just been stuff that was happening up to that point. And well, actually, I'll let you answer.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. Usually, if you wouldn't develop an acne lesion so quickly.
Okay.
So, or comedones that quickly either. It's a very difficult thing. Usually, so because there's no way for me to tell you that that's true or not, I would just say, well, if you think that's happened, just don't use it. So, like,
which I did. I stopped using it because Emma and I were talking about that, and she's like, okay, we'll just go back to the CeraVe. But I kept thinking, for people who think like I do, oh my God, anything like Vaseline's going to clog up my pores. I kind of want to break that myth, because if it's going to moisturize our skin, why not use it? It's not acne prone.
yeah, I mean,
Let's use it.
I think there is something to be said though about like the placebo effect of this, because some people are so convinced that if they were to put something greasy on their face, they'll get spots, that they seem to get spots anyway. So I'm just like, well, if you believe that it's going to be a problem, no matter what I tell you, just don't use it. So that's where, for when someone asks me, oh, what's the best moisturizer? What moisturizer should I use? I'm like, well, I don't really know you. We'll have to talk about it, because for me to recommend something, it's going to depend on a lot of factors. And one of the big ones is, what's your attitude towards this? So if I have a skincare junkie who knows everything about skincare, then I'm like, well, you're going to be a difficult customer. So I have to be a little careful about what I say. So it's because bottom line is, moisturize is just moisturize. So,
yeah,
I don't really care which one you use. I just need you to use something in case you get dry from your retinoid or whatever it is. So, and you just need to like to use it. And if you're not happy using an ointment, then you're not going to use it. So, I would prefer you to use something that maybe doesn't have water in it, or perhaps is, I don't know, doesn't have 6,000 ingredients in it. But if you are happy to use that and you like it, then I'm not, fine. I mean, cosmetic skincare, they are just maintenance and supportive. So I don't really, you can put coconut oil on your face, or you can buy the 300-pound container of Elemis, if that makes you happy.
Yeah, but, whatever makes you happy, exactly. But they're both going to basically, well, and I can't even say that they'll both do the same, because in all reality, the Vaseline will actually moisturize where the $300 Elemis won't. So
probably the Vaseline will be in the long run better. But again, better being I'm just talking about the way the skin reacts. But if you don't like the feel of it, or if you like the pretty packaging, or if that really affects the way you believe in a product, then I have to take that into account. So though from a scientific point of view, I'm like, just use the Vaseline and just save us all this annoyance.
I think that because we're so uneducated in skin, I really think that it's not beneficial to us for anyone to kick back and go, oh, well, wait a minute, you love Elemis. I think it's better. I would rather hear personally, and I think a lot of people would, fuck your emotions. Seriously, fuck your emotions. I would rather, you tell me, okay, for example, here, I love this stuff, but if I hear from you, which I haven't been using it, it's the Elemis Pro Collagen Rose Facial Oil. I liked the way it felt on my skin, but probably because it's an oil.
Yeah.
So I automatically, and I got this for $12, don't worry. This thing is like $80. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So it's probably because it's an oil. So
yeah.
Is this going to do me anything because it's Pro Collagen Rose Facial Oil? Is this going to do anything better than Vaseline? Be real with me.
No, it's not. No. It's Vaseline's
Thank you. You just saved me $80.
Yeah. But I mean, someone just, so it's not, that's Nicole just said, I don't know if whatever. I'm just thinking, what if somebody, someday we stop to use every single product we use, what's the skin reaction? So I very often do that with patients. I tell them to stop using everything, and it works really well. So I know that some people say, oh, no, my skin gets totally freaked out. Well, it may do initially. I mean, recently I had a patient who I basically didn't know what was going on. I just did not know what was going on with her skin. It was just a mess. So I was like, listen to me. And she had every product. It was a video consult. So she just went into her bathroom with the thing, and I was like, oh, this is fun. She showed me every single product.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God. So to start to figure out what the hell she was doing to her face, it was so irritating. Her main issue was my face feels really irritated and red all the time. And I was like, well, maybe we should stop using everything. And it was so hard for her to stop. But we did 2 weeks of nothing. Like literally, it was lockdown, so she didn't have to leave the house. So no sunscreen, right? There's no excuse. She didn't cleanse, she didn't wear makeup, she didn't do anything. And 2 weeks later, we did another video, and she was like, my skin is so much better. I was like, oh, surprise! So then,
you know, it's funny that you say that, because that's one of the things that I have noticed about people doing all these skincare reviews. They're always going, oh, you know, I have to use this because my skin's been very irritated, so I'm going to use this, 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 this. And they've got like 15 things that they're putting on their face going, yeah, my skin's just really irritated. And I'm going,
maybe
your skin's going to stay irritated until you stop.
Maybe it's the 6,000 steps in your skincare routine. So yeah, I mean, that's like, not everyone has that, because I do have a fair amount of patients who don't use anything, which is fine, or very few things. But generally speaking, especially with the way that the again, skincare is sold and marketed, you would believe that you have to use like 6 products in the morning, 6 in the evening, and then you'll be perfect. So, I mean, that really upsets me. I mean, look at like Obagi. Oh, I shouldn't say, I constantly slag off Obagi, but that's so easy to do. Those boxes with all the things in them. And I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, so I mean,
well, and it's funny because again, going back to me not using anything ever, and then in 2018 going, what can I do to fix what's going on in my face? I fell into the same trap. I was using, are you ready? Oh God, I'm gonna knock everything over. I was starting off with snail oil or snail mucin, this whatever thing with snail in it, and then I would put the hyaluronic acid with the squalene oil, then a moisturizer, and then of course the pro whatever. And was my face feeling moisturized? Yeah, sure, it felt heavenly. Did I react to it? No, but I noticed that my skin was getting drier and drier and drier, and I'm going, what the fuck is going on? And when I started doing the Tret and I canceled everything out, my face is back to normal.
Yeah. So, I mean, so a couple of people have asked, what's the routine to use a tretinoin if you're going to go into that, right? So if you're going to use tretinoin, everything else needs to be really, really, really simple, because tretinoin is a pretty powerful thing, and it's going to, everything you want all those other things to do, tretinoin will do.
I'm saying no to Tasha, sorry. Yeah. She's saying our essence is worth it. No, they're not.
Which ones?
Essence, these essences, they're not worth it.
I don't even know what those are. But
yeah. Just listen, actually listen to what she's saying, because she's going to tell you exactly how easy it is.
So yeah, just all you need to do is use a cleanser. I don't care what cleanser you use, whatever you like. And no, you don't need to double cleanse unless you really feel like your makeup's not being removed well by your first cleanser. No, you don't need a toner. I don't understand the concept. I don't know why anyone would. So don't worry about that. You don't have to prep your skin for moisturizer. You don't have to rebalance the pH of your skin. That's also crap. So like, just, that's all nonsense. Just what are people talking about? So crap. Anyway, just remove the makeup if you're wearing it. That's all. That's the only reason that you need to cleanse your skin. So remove the makeup.
And just so you guys know, you don't need shit like this, which I laughed at. Seriously, you don't need shit like this.
What's that?
Okay. Again, I got it for free. It's Pharmacy's Very Cherry Clean. The ingredients list is out of this world. It's just like 5 million miles long. This is the ingredients list, okay? It's a cleansing balm.
Is it organic?
Okay. No, of course not.
The cherry.
I don't even care if they try to claim it. It's a makeup melt away cleansing balm. Okay, so for those, you know, like she's saying, there's albaline, there's a whole bunch of simple, basic, cheap, affordable things that you can put on your face, and all you need is one of these babies.
Yeah, like
to wipe it off when it's wet.
And you don't have to use that, because like Emma, for example, doesn't use what she's not a fan. Then, you know, you may need like an oil cleanser and to remove your makeup. And then if you don't like the oil feel on your skin, then yes, you could use another cleanser if you want to. That's like the double cleansing. But, you know, it depends on what you like. So whatever you like to use, whatever you can afford, you should use that. Remove your makeup, pat dry. Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
And the only reason why I'm saying this for those that, because I always hear a lot of people going, oh my God, but when I use coconut oil, it just made me break out. It's like, well, you're not removing it right. That's all. You're just not removing it right. Now, I'm not going to lie. I initially would go in with this wet and I would rub. But then I saw your thing about how you can destroy the skin barrier by doing that. And so now I just very lightly with this wet will just remove the oil, the excess oil.
Yeah.
I will just lightly remove it to get all the makeup off.
Yeah.
And then I go a little heavy here because this is where I'm really, really oily.
Yeah.
And then your skin doesn't feel oily.
Yeah. So if you don't,
so for those of you,
yeah. If you don't like the oily feel, that's cool. And then you just put your tretinoin on, and how much you put on enough to cover your whole face. So also different formulations of tretinoin have different viscosities, so they flow differently. So depends on which one you have, put it on, and then if you want to put a moisturizer on top of that, if you think you need it, then go for it. Whatever moisturizer you like, I'm not so bothered. Just as long as it doesn't have an acid in it. You don't want anything that's going to add any irritation because tretinoin is very powerful. So I like to use ointments, but that's just me. And that's it. That's all I do. That will be the whole shebang there.
Do you
Done.
need something on top of your tretinoin?
No, not unless you want to do that. Generally speaking, you don't need to, but it depends on you. Like my lab here in London can now do me a tretinoin in an ointment. So then it would be a very hydrating vehicle. So that's good. So I'm excited about them doing that for me. So I can put tretinoin, so that would remove the need to have a moisturizer on top. Yeah.
People are asking if they can put tretinoin under their
Yes.
eyes.
Yes, you can. If you have very sensitive eyes, it might be a little bit irritating. But yeah, you can put it all the way around this area. And I would encourage you to do so.
I actually put it all the way up. And I have dry eyes.
Yeah, I did that for a while, and it was making my dry eye worse. So I definitely stopped doing that. So yeah, stop doing.
For some reason, it's not really bothering me. They're the same as they've always been. So I'm just like, okay, well, whatever. I did accidentally get it in my eye.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it can be a little stingy. Regina is asking me, are asking us, is ceramides important? No, that's going to be my easy answer to that is. It's not easy. I have to make an IGTV video about the skin barrier because I can't explain this well in a 5-second live. So I tried to do it last week Saturday with Caroline, but it was a bit of a disaster. I saw Caroline's eyes kind of glazed over when I started talking about lipid bilayer.
Okay.
It was like,
well,
oh,
you know
no.
what I want to do? And I want to do all of this stuff, and I want to make it, I really want to dumb it down for people, because I mean, you got these like technical terms, and I'm like, whoa, hey, wait, break it down to, stupid like me. And not that we're stupid, we just don't get it.
No.
I want to do a live with you on YouTube as soon as I'm able to, because then we don't have a time limit and people can ask. We can just do a question and answer, Q&A, boom,
Yeah.
done. And I think it'll work. Somebody else asked, what do you think of face masks and the under eye patches?
What do you think I think?
Okay, so Tasha, I'm going to put it really simple because I've heard her and she can tell me if I'm wrong. It's basically just for pleasure. It doesn't do anything. It's just because, I want to make myself feel special, but it's not going to do anything. It's extremely temporary.
Sunday. Yeah, I mean, if you like it, go for it. But I mean, it's not going to clear your acne. Someone just asked, is tretinoin good for comedones? Yes, it can be, but you have to use it for quite a long time to have effect on the comedones. But it is the only topical that will almost certainly, and over time, correct comedones. Good moisturizer without water. Depends. Is it Joanne or Juan? Oh God, I'm so sorry. Sorry, I'm behind, Kat. It depends on where you live, but anything basically like you want an ointment, so it's usually in like a tub. And it's not white. It'll look like Vaseline. So a cream is white, and that will have water in it. So Aquaphor, QV, like there's tons of different brands of ointments, but you have to go. If you go to the pharmacy or like a CVS or Walgreens or wherever you live, you need to look down. these skincare products are not the ones at Eyeline, because the Eyeline ones are like the the retinol, expensive anti-aging magic serums, but the like pharmacy ones are the ones that are like down, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. all the big words.
Yeah, so those are
all
the words at the bottom. So Elena saying no cleanser, moisturizer. Yeah, cleanser to remove your makeup, moisturizer if you need it. And Cole Jackie saying, sorry, just to clarify, is Vaseline a good moisturizer? Yeah, so there's different types of moisturizer. So you have humectants, which draw water into the skin. You have occlusive agents, which sit on top of the skin and don't allow water to leave the skin. So the best occlusive agent of all time is pure Vaseline. So that's why Vaseline is the best moisturizer ever made. obviously not everyone likes to walk around with Vaseline on their face, but so that's the benchmark by which all other Vaselines are judged when we do trials. So in clinical trials of moisturizer, you have to use a vehicle and then a control and things like that. So then our positive control or active control would be Vaseline because it's the #1 reducer of transepidermal water loss. So yes, it is a very good moisturizer and it's not comedogenic. Our essence. Oh yeah, you said keep Tret happy. Yes. So sorry, I'm just trying to whiz through this. Please say this live. I think Kat can save the live. Yes, Emma.
Yeah, I will.
A 345 cleansing oil. Woohoo! How do you remove albuline? So I actually use like cotton pads to do it, and then I just put that's very wasteful, and I recognize that. But I do that, and yeah, or something like that. Yeah, like a little muslin or something, muslin cloth. And then I don't mind if my skin feels a little bit greasy before I put on the tretinoin. It doesn't bother me. I don't think it prevents absorption, but you might think it does. So tell me. Tret under the eyes. Can you comment about, sorry, what were you going to say, Kat?
No, yeah, definitely try under the eyes. I do it. I have dry eyes. It works. I like it. Just don't do it here because I did that. I even put on my earlobes because I want the wrinkles to go away from my ear piercing. I know.
Oh.
It works. It's working. But just right here. I don't go anywhere else.
Right.
I'm be careful. And it's at the end, at the very end. So when I have it all on my face, and I just take that. Yeah.
No,
somebody said something. Oh, here's one. Will putting anything on your skin after tretinoin dilute or minimize the effects of Tret? So will putting an ointment on, a moisturizer on, will it minimize the effects?
So probably not, but this has never been looked at ever. So I couldn't tell you from a evidence-based point of view, but just using common sense, I don't think so. So I wouldn't hugely worry about that. But we do there have been 2 studies done looking at putting emollient on underneath tretinoin, and that's been fine. So.
Oh, so you can actually even put it on underneath.
Yeah.
I don't want to put anything on because I just want it to do its magic.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. Yes. But it's like if it's in a decent enough vehicle, then like as in what the drug's in, you shouldn't really need to use anything else. That's why I'm really excited to be starting to give my patients some ointment vehicles. Not for everyone, but for some people. No need to wait before or after Tret, Elena. No, I don't think that's necessary either. But again, that's not been evidence-based, and a lot of people have different opinions on that. With things like this, where you get a lot of different opinions, like the whole idea of putting tretinoin on wet skin and all this other stuff, I would just try it out yourself and see what you prefer to do, because that's going to be the best way to kind of judge, whether or not it works for you. But I generally, and people who try to overcomplicate these skincare regimes, usually it's not necessary to overcomplicate stuff. Oh yeah, look at your little Vaseline. So usually don't.
So for anyone asking, what can I put for the dryness underneath? Try this.
Where can I get tretinoin? Lindy C22, depends where you live. Simple cleansing oil, there's loads of them. Yeah, DHC is a good one. I like that one too. And Emma just found the simple one that was really inexpensive. Thank you.
So somebody is asking, how many times do they have to put sunscreen on during the day while they're indoors?
Okay, so I did a post.
I'm not laughing at you.
She's not laughing at
I am not laughing at you. Yeah, no, I'm laughing because this is the thing that we hate about marketing. Yeah. For those of you that are indoors that have windows made anywhere from 1990 and on, you are protected from the sun.
Yeah.
So you don't have to work. And I used to work for Pella Windows, which is why I know this. It's the only reason why I know it. So it's blocking 90% of UVA, UVB rays from coming into you.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry so much about the sunscreen inside business. I think that's brilliant marketing and not necessary. So if it sounds too complicated for real life, it probably is. Like I remember, I have patients asking this too. Like, how do I reapply my sunscreen during the day if I have makeup on? I'm like, oh, you don't need to reapply it. Like and I'm always like, do you work in an office? Yes. Are you going outside during the day? Well, sometimes I go out to get like lunch or something. It's fine. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like, the only people who I really OCD obsess about with sun exposure are melasma patients. Though my melasma patients, I am like hardcore, insane. Do not let that face go in the sun, especially not when we're going through treatment, because we put so much time and effort into melasma treatment that it would really upset me if someone went out in the sun for half an hour and their melasma came back. So melasma, you have to respect the melasma.
What exactly is melasma? Was that big, huge spot that I had melasma?
That was probably just pigmentation, but melasma is a form of pigmentation that we think is hormonally driven, and it tends to occur in like a mask-like pattern.
Yeah.
Yes, you see it in pregnant women, young women. It tends to occur in younger women.
And it happens to women who are going to go through menopause.
No, younger women. Like it can, due to the pill, due to hormonal changes, pregnancy. It's very, very common. Yeah, melasma is a real big one. Yeah.
Are there certain types of skin, I'm going to say shades, that get melasma or are susceptible to melasma more than others, or is it just hormonal?
It's hormonal, but it's mainly Caucasian women. I mean, you'd see it more in white women because it'd be more obvious, but you can also get it in darker skinned people. We don't fully understand what causes melasma and why it happens, but it's very manageable and treatable. So yeah, I mean, I use topicals. I wouldn't use anything else. I use creams, but with melasma, it's very emotive for patients. So, you know, women with melasma find it really distressing to have, which is understandable because it's hard to conceal. It's hard to cover up. You feel like you always have to wear makeup. Yeah, I mean, women find it's really difficult. So when we go into treating melasma, I mean, I treat it very aggressively with topicals. And so I can usually I have a post coming in a day or two with one of my just recent before and afters with melasma, and it was just, she did really well. But so with melasma, because the treatment is quite intense, we really go hard at it, you know, to try to get rid of it. Then you know, the sun is going to trigger the pigmentation to come back. So then I'm really OCD about the sun. But those are the only patients who that, and then obviously any skin cancer patients. So that's separate. But the melasma patients, I'm like, do not go in the sun. Anyone else, like, you don't need to reapply sunscreen during the day, especially not if you're inside all day. I wouldn't hugely worry about that. There's Maddie, you're asking me about rosacea. I think with rosacea, if you have, it's a flaring up kind of condition. So usually if you get a flare up, I would just stop using everything, because a lot of times the flare up of rosacea can be triggered by something, and almost certainly it's going to be something you apply to your skin. So I would just say stop absolutely everything and then take a good oral treatment. I like to use oral treatments like tablets for as much as I can because it's much easier to use for patients. But in terms of topicals, there's some newer topical treatments you can try, like Sulantra. But rosacea can be a tough one because it's also really misdiagnosed. So anyone who has redness in the skin gets told they have melasma. It's just mind-boggling.
Wait, melasma or rosacea?
No, I'm so sorry, guys. Rosacea. Oh, it's been a long day. Rosacea.
No, that's why, yeah, because I know that happens. So
sorry, everyone. I meant to talk about rosacea. There's some new treatments for rosacea. Yeah, and the thing is, the misdiagnosis of rosacea is quite a big deal. So many Caucasian women, white women, because we have a lot of redness in our skin, you get told that you have rosacea all the time, like all the time. So
for example, where I have redness here, that would not be rosacea because it doesn't burn, it doesn't do anything. That's just the pigment of my skin. But where my brother has like these severe, splotchy, red, irritated sections of his face, I mean, they're just like, ooh, that would probably be rosacea because he was diagnosed.
But I would need to see his skin because it's a very specific like appearance to it, and you just have to look at it to be like, yes, okay, that is rosacea or not, because it does matter, because it does change the way you manage it. So it's not just normal acne. So it does matter, but yeah, but I do see a lot of people getting misdiagnosed with rosacea just because they have redness. And I'm like, well, a lot of people have redness. So, sorry, I'm now just zooming through what we have missed. The best ointments are in the farm. Oh yeah, that's, I mean, okay, what else have we missed?
I'm so afraid that what if you flush easily? That's just normal.
Yeah.
Oh, can we also kill one more while you're looking?
Yeah.
I'm applying moisturizer.
Pat it on. Yes.
I mean, come on. Can we just like put it on?
Yeah. Just
does it really matter?
On there. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not very delicate with my moisturizer.
I'm not either. I mean, I abuse the crap out of my skin.
How do you help under eye dryness? I would just whack on a ointment under your eyes.
That's what I popped the Vaseline
Yeah.
up for the
Oh,
person
yeah,
that
yeah.
under
Vaseline's great
yeah.
under eyes.
Now, I don't understand this question from Topical Fuel. Does UVA provide complete UVA protection better than inorganic ones? I don't know what that means.
Inorganic means mineral.
Well, no, I mean the UVA provide complete UVA
Yeah,
protection.
I
I don't know what you're
don't
asking. Can you clarify the question? And then what percentage of Tret is best? Shouldn't we start off at
start
0.025?
low and go slow. It doesn't. There is no best. It depends what you can use.
Yeah. Tolerate.
So why the marketing is telling us to use sunscreen to prevent? Yeah. So sunscreen. Okay. So yes. So the reason why marketing tells you to use sunscreen to prevent dark spots and wrinkles isn't because of the skincare that you use, because the skincare that you use isn't causing the sunspots and wrinkles. It's because sunlight is the biggest cause of extrinsic aging. So the reason why your face gets signs of aging is the main external reason, like besides, if that makes sense, is sun exposure. So UV radiation damages the like collagen, elastin in the skin, and leads to the signs of aging. So yeah, so that is why sunscreen is marketed as something that can prevent dark spots and wrinkles. It's not that there's something magical about sunscreen. It's that it's trying to stop you from getting the damage from the UV radiation, if that makes sense. So yeah, sunscreen in itself isn't special. It's just the lack of sun exposure or the protection it gives you from the sun. You'd be just as fine if you wore a big hat and like stayed inside all day, which all of us are doing right now anyway. Yay!
I know, right? And I think that's why I'm laughing even harder at the people that I see online. You know, oh my God, I put on my sunscreen to stay indoors.
To stay indoors. Yeah, I think it's a little bit overdone, but yeah, I mean, sunscreen is so I don't use it as my number one way of sun protection. It's not gonna be enough. I would always recommend avoidance as well as like a hat. But if you are gonna go out in the sun, then sunscreen is helpful with your hat and your big sunglasses and everything. But it's purely to prevent skin cancer, supposedly, which is also important. But when it comes to preventing you from aging rapidly, avoiding the sun is your best bet. And the way you can kind of think about that is if you look at your arm. So if you look at your forearm, like the front of your arm, this is your sun damaged arm. But if you turn it around and look at the back of your arm, that's what your skin would look like if you never went in the sun. So there should be.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
So that's the difference. So even like I never go in the sun, but I did when I was younger because I didn't know any better. So I have like pigmentation. It's a little bit red. Like my forearm skin isn't like perfect, but when I turn my arm over, it's like smooth and perfect. I often tell people to look at their bum skin as well. Your butt is often like your perfect skin. So that's where you can see the direct effect of sun when you look at your forearm. So if you look at your grandparents or someone like way older, look at their arms as well. You'll see there's still a difference between the front and the back of the arm. And that's just purely like sun exposure. And you've never put sunscreen or a hyaluronic acid serum or a glycolic peel on this skin, but yet it still looks really perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't put anything on that side, seriously. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so and you can also look under your chin. That's also photoprotected, this skin here, but it's not as good as your forearm. So yeah, so that's why. So the marketing is a little bit deceptive. Surprise! Shock horror.
Actually, no surprise.
The marketing is deceptive. Yeah. So now they invented sunscreen sprays. Yep, I'm not a fan of those, but it can be helpful for kids and stuff.
And then Natasha, or Tasha, I always want to call you Natasha. You were saying, don't do this to me. I think you thought that I was saying to be delicate with your skin. No, I was saying go ahead and slap your stuff on. You don't have to treat your skin like it's fine porcelain. It's not. It can handle it. So you're good. Totally massage your face. Love it.
Yes.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. So, and then Emmy's asking a good question. What is fungal acne? Yeah. No, fungal acne is massively misunderstood. So pityrosporum folliculitis. So okay. So it's not actually like, right. It's not like fungus. so when, everyone, you have pityrosporum, or everyone has like Malassezia. You have all these yeast and fungi that live on your skin. Okay. That's That's normal. That needs to be there. Some people are oversensitive to those. Like we think that Malassezia can cause like seborrheic dermatitis in people, and maybe even Demodex can cause rosacea. Fine. Now, patients who have what we call fungal acne, it's extremely uncommon. The group that it tends to occur in are teenage to 20-something men who have been using oral antibiotics for years and years and years, and they have allowed their skin fungus to kind of take over because they use antibiotics, which kind of change the microbiome on the skin, if you will, though I don't like these.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you do that, then what happens is then they get a very specific type of acne, and they're little red bumps, they're little papules and pustules. They tend to be monomorphic, meaning they look like they're all the same little dots. They're normal acne, you have big ones and small ones, you know what I mean, like big spots, cysts or whatever. With fungal acne, they tend to all be the same, and then they're itchy. Okay, so itchiness is a real classic sign of a pityrosporum folliculitis or fungal acne. So this whole concept, I don't really understand where this whole misunderstanding came from. It's extremely rare. I think I've only diagnosed pityrosporum folliculitis or fungal acne like twice in men.
Okay, so I think I can see why they can twist this.
Yeah.
If you have one bump that's really big and itchy,
Yeah.
would that be fungal acne?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's why. That's what they do.
Yeah.
See that? So, oh my God, it's a pimple and it's itchy. I've got fungal acne.
Yeah, or I don't. People who think that a lot. What I've seen before is like this whole thing with, oh, my acne is not getting better with the acne treatments. It must be because it's fungal and I'm not using the right treatment. So that's generally not true anyway. To be honest, topical treatments for acne, if you have quite severe acne, aren't going to do anything anyway, because your acne is not going to get dealt with well, you know, with topicals. So, you know, but don't think you have fungal acne because of that. But then the thing is, you get all this stuff on like these weird, not blogs, but the forums where people are like, oh yeah, I took an antifungal, my acne cleared. It's just don't believe things people write.
Yeah, and here's the other one that really irritates me is the whole, okay, so the microbiome is real, but that's in your gut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's real. This whole skin microbiome, another marketing scheme, because the only way that your skin gets that thrown off is when you have too much yeast in your actual gut, When things are fucked up in your gut, then it's going to show up on your skin. And you've got to be like royally fucked up. You can't just be, oh, well, I ate pizza one day and now I've got acne, or oh, I ate chocolate and now I've got acne, and I ate sugar.
Right. So yeah. So what she said.
It just pisses me off. And I mean, I get it, because this is the shit that we've been told by skincare brands. You know, oh, you've got to be careful what you eat. You have to eat clean. You have to do this. You have to do that. And then now people, like I said, they'll have pizza, they'll have chocolate, they'll have sugar, and oh, that's why I have acne, because I had it the day before.
Yeah, that's not a true association. Yeah, that's I'm always like, yeah, okay, well, that's fine, but let's move on. Like,
can you break one more
yeah.
myth? With acne, people believe that they need to use charcoal. I don't even have one. I laughed when I had it and I threw it away. Charcoal treatments, clay masks, and all this stuff to try to get rid of their acne. Could you please tell them that it doesn't work?
No, it doesn't work, but I don't really know where that comes from either, though. That's like, I don't know where the clay mask charcoal thing derives from. So I think it's for drying out the skin. I'm not sure. You don't want to dry.
Yeah, it's to dry the skin out to eliminate the acne, and it's like, guys, come on.
No, it doesn't really work. So, but if you like to use the mask, no, it doesn't do anything helpful.
Actually, people end up complaining about their skin being drier, and it's like, guys, you're throwing your pH balance way off. Just stop. Let the acne be.
Can you kill the hype about B5 serum? You know, I can't, because I don't really know much about B5 serum, but I will, it's not something that I've ever really paid attention to. So the person with the unicorn at the end of their name, I will write that down, and I will look. But again, that's one of those ingredients that by me. Oh. So SkinCeuticals makes a B5 serum. That's pretty much all I know. I don't know why, but right. Do you know LDA lights helping to skin? No, but I have a post coming out this week about light treatments for acne and the evidence behind. There was a Cochrane review done, and it showed that none of them were helpful, basically.
Somebody asked about where'd it go? It was right up here. The LD lights. Oh wait, pigmentation. Oh, the best treatment for pigmentation.
Hydroquinone. Done.
Okay.
Oh,
Fungal acne is
Malassezia. Malassezia is a type of yeast. Yeah, yes and no. But I'm not going to comment on that. So that's confusing. I went vegan and my acne got worse. Why is that? Yeah. Did you get B12 injections? That could be why. Because people who are vegan are deficient in B12. So
I'm not vegan and I'm deficient in B12, so yeah. Somebody says, what do you recommend for washing the body? You don't really have any recommendations, right?
no, whatever you like. I'm a fragrance person, so I like anything with a fragrance. But not everyone likes that. So Emma said, soy caused issues for me when I went vegan. Yeah, and I don't know why that would be, Emma, but we will discuss that when I see you.
What about dairy and acne?
Okay, so this has to do with insulin-like growth factor and its effect on hormones. This is super controversial. If you think dairy products cause your acne, then stop eating dairy products. But I would not ever tell a patient to not eat dairy products to improve their acne, because there is no substantial evidence to support that. However, if you feel that it does, then, I mean, as long as you're not going to be calcium deficient or whatever, then that's fine. But I don't think that you need to change your diet to treat acne, basically, just across the board. I like this one. Elena saying, why are so many dermatologists perpetuating myths? They all have different opinions. Well, that's a conversation. You know, the one thing I would say is that the dermatologists who are very vocal on social media, or, well, social media mainly, and I'm one of those, obviously one of those dermatologists, they tend to have a reason why they are on social, and it usually isn't pure. Yeah, she's holding up a tube. It's usually not fully for the greater good of spreading knowledge. So really the reason for me is why I do any of this is because I was seeing patients and I was getting really annoyed with the hogwash that people were coming to me and saying. And I was like, where are people getting these crazy ideas from? So then I started looking into it and I saw that a lot of it was coming from social media. And I was like, all right, so there's doctors on social media who are saying things that are totally ridiculous. I thought, why are they saying this? And then I went and looked and I'm like, oh yes, because they're sponsored by Clinique, or they're selling a product, or they have an affiliate link. That's why they're telling you nonsense, because they're trying to sell something. So
or they have their own line.
Or they have their own skincare line, or they are about to start a skincare line. I am not about to start a skincare line. So when I saw all that, and I was like, well, why are these doctors saying this? But there's a whole load of dermatologists who are not on social media, who stay as far away from Instagram or Twitter as you can imagine, because they do not want to get into this type of conversation. So they don't.
Yeah.
So these are the doctors who they're not going to sit there and tell you to buy a load of skincare and perpetuate all these myths. It's the ones that have PR companies behind them. I don't have a PR company. There's a lot of them that do, though. They do. So they're doing it for a reason, and it's not necessarily to help you understand what's going on with your skin or to help you. I'm not a saint, and I'm not by any stretch of the imagination a saint, but I definitely, my motivation for doing this is to make sure to stop everyone from just wasting all their time and money, because it's driving me mental. So,
and just to clear one up, some of these people who tout doctors, like I just now found out Dr. Murad, I thought he was a dermatologist. He's a pharmacist.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
And he has a massive skincare line.
Beautiful packaging. So yeah, I mean,
I don't care about the packaging,
but like the Murad prices right now, they're so expensive, and like
they are. But I guess what bothers me about this is that this is why they charge so much more money, because, and I hate to tell you people, but you need to know the graphic designer gets paid shit. So here you get this massive, beautiful packaging.
Yeah.
The graphic designer who did this very expensive work gets squat. So you're basically not supporting the people that make this. You're supporting the idiot that lies about it and says that it works. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not.
She's not sorry.
I'm not sorry.
She's definitely not sorry.
I am not sorry.
She's not sorry. But that's why one thing I do say on my Instagram a lot is, like, if you see a doctor saying something and in the next sentence they're telling you to buy something, I would be very skeptical about what they're telling you as being true. So, I mean, it's your decision whether or not you believe them. It's your decision whether you think it's a conflict. But I would suggest that it is a conflict. So, you know, if someone's saying, oh, yes, well, I'm going to tell you all about fungal acne, blah, 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 and there's an affiliate link here, you know, click on that and buy a product, you got to be like, oh, hold on, you know, what are they saying? So, I mean, like I said, I'm not a saint, but I do have a responsibility to provide information that is legitimate, honest, and has some integrity, because that's kind of where I'm coming from. So, yes. Oh, yeah.
And really think about what you guys are doing, guys, because don't buy into the hype. Really look at, is this doing anything for me? Is it doing anything long-term? Is it really changing my face? If it's not, stop buying it. You're wasting money and feeding bullshit.
But one thing I do tell patients, like, well, if you're going to go and buy something expensive, I would just go on the internet, print out the ingredients, take your little ingredient list, and then go find an equivalent product at like Boots or CVS or Walgreens, and just look at the ingredients. Because what you'll see very quickly is that they're identical. And then you'll be like, oh crap, I'm not going to spend 60 pounds on this. It's exactly like the one for £2. You know, and you'll see that. So you have to like pay attention. I mean, it's good to check. So do you need to cleanse or wash your face in the morning to remove the ointment? No, because when you wake up, you'll feel that it's all been like kind of not necessarily absorbed, but it will just kind of not really feel sticky anymore. So you don't, but unless you want to, if you want to cleanse in the morning, you can. Yeah.
And I think I know where they're coming from with that too, because that was one of the things that I asked Emma. I'm like, I wake up in the morning and this is just a grease bomb. This is completely greased out. So what she suggested, and this might work for, if you're, you know, whoever is asking if you have combination skin, just go ahead and like lightly either wash that area or take I would actually rather wash it than take a washcloth to it and wipe it off. So just do that and then just apply moisturizer on top.
Yeah.
I always thought I had to take the tretinoin off in the morning. I really did.
You don't need to take it off in the morning.
No.
You'll be fine. No. So what percent?
Thank God for Emma.
Yeah, thank God for Emma. Seriously, she's such a good advisor. What percentage is quinone for pigmentation? Well, it depends what you can get legally in your country. So I tend to go up to the highest percentage I can get legally. In Dubai, that's 8%. In the UK, it's 10%. And in the States, I actually don't know what it is because I can't prescribe in the US. I think it's 4. Is it 4?
Yeah, I hope so. Because I'm going to see if they'll actually. Okay, so since I have very, very little. I mean, it's there. It's a lot of little spots. Should I have them increase my hydrocodone, my HQ, or not?
Ask them, because I don't know whether they can. I don't know whether you're allowed. I don't know. Dramatica doesn't go above 4, at least not in the UK. Yeah, sorry. Oh, this is interesting. Veronica's saying, if isotretinoin isn't working, that's oral for Accutane on month 8.
I was wondering what that was. I'm like, what the heck is isotretinoin?
What can that, you know, Veronica, that is an extremely interesting question. And you're not my patient, but if someone's on 8 months of 60 milligrams and they're failing Accutane, there is a problem, and that's not normal. So I would absolutely encourage you to go to your doctor and say, what the hell is happening? Because if I have never, like knock on something, I've never had that happen to a patient of mine. I've had patients who've taken a few months to respond well, but not 8 months. That's usually when we're thinking about when we're going to stop treatment. So Veronica, if you're still listening to this, can you please go and talk to your doctor? Because and you can DM me as well, but I'm not going to be able to give you an answer because this is going to be about looking at you as a whole picture and trying to figure out what's been going on with you over the past year or so to allow that. So yeah, that would be a treatment failure, and I've yet ever to see a treatment failure, and I've prescribed it to about thousands of people. So thank you, Emma. So yes, Veronica, please get that checked. Elaine, I'm saving so much money. Yes, that's good. You're paying for the name. Neutrogena scandal with doctors. Oh, I don't know about the Neutrogena scandal, but I'll look into that. You know, this is going to end in about a minute. We've been on for like an hour. 10% in the UK. Yeah, Emma, you can get 10%.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
You can get 10% in the UK, but that's definitely not through Dramatica. So we'll talk about that. Is the pathway to becoming a derm in the UK compared to US? I noticed that they're board certified. Yeah, so in the US, a consultant is called a board certified dermatologist. That's just the name that's the phrase they use. So